welcome back to the beginning of another week. It's week 52. It is the last week of 2025. So here are the fields in France that surround our house. I'm known here for making crazy concoctions for Christmas. So this week was incredibly busy. The beginning of the week, I spent basically taking all of my infusions and macerations and turning them into liqueurs. And that's what people got. In the heart of not wasting the wonderful fruit, like infused with vodka and brandy and stuff that gets left from these macerations, I always attempt like various recipes. So this year I made some apple onion chutney, well, boozy apple onion chutney. And I also made an amazing like boozy apple crumble. So those were both keeper recipes. I did try using the figs to make leathers, and that just didn't work because the only thing left from the figs were the seeds. So yeah, not going to do that next year. I think I'll probably end up just composting the seeds. But this year I made a plum liqueur, so I have plum solids, and I'm planning on making like a duck savory sauce with that and then freezing it for when we have duck, because here in Lawns, duck is super common and popular. So yeah, it's been a battle of balancing holiday festivities and other stuff that needed to get done. So here we're taking a look at my apple tree. It actually was supposed to be delivered on the 24th here to the house, and unfortunately ended up being delivered to the pickup point, so I couldn't pick it up. Got it later. It was a giant pain, but it is in the ground. We'll see how it does. It's definitely, if I back up here, it's definitely smaller in size than my other demi-tige trees. So I'm hoping it flushes up, well, fills out more, but we'll see what happens. This week was also spent doing a lot of frost prep. So you can see over, well, maybe I'll take you over there. Over in the chicken area, I have added more blankies to my plants. So the passion fruit vine is still bundled up, but I've also bundled up my Tahitian lime here and my Meyer lemon over there. And then the other passion fruit on the side here is bundled. Under the chicken space, if I actually zoom in a bit, you can see that I've added a baby bath. That is because everything's wet, and I feel bad because my girls still need to take their dust baths to help like clean their feathers and prevent mites and things like that. So I'm trying this dust bath, and actually let me take you in. So yeah, here's the little dust bath. It's a baby's bathtub, and since it's all plastic, it is impermeable to water, so it shouldn't get moisture from the bottom, but it also won't let moisture out. And then inside there's like a mix of compost, sand, ash, and zeolite, and I can tell that they've been using it. So that's pretty cool. So speaking of chickens, nothing much has been happening out in the garden, but this is obviously a gate. Originally, my idea was actually to make it a human pass-through gate, but I figured out that I only ever use the gate over there to get into their space. And I'm seeing now that I have to better bundle my tree there. So I'm actually going to be turning this into a chute. I use this to give them scraps from the garden. So rather than it being a gate that's going to open like this, it'll be a chute which will open like this. So somehow I'll end up putting like pivots, or I'm not exactly sure, but we're going to do some sort of pivoting system on the bottom. And then this top will basically have a handle where I can open it out this way and then basically shove all of my garden scraps down the chute. And then they always congregate there and eat the scraps. And then when I come in to clean the pen, I always kind of rake the scraps away from that area. So that's kind of a change there, but it's happening. Again, because of the holidays, not much has happened out in the garden itself. It is a gorgeous sunset though. So I will definitely show that off. We did go and try foraging for more mushrooms. And actually, while doing that, I think I've mentioned that the fields here are all fava beans, which a lot of people know are used as a cover crop with the idea of tilling it back into the dirt, and the roots provide nitrogen for next year's corn crop. But we actually ended up way over there somewhere, and this field is still my fava bean, or the fava beans. They're not my fava beans, the fava beans. But further out, like way by those trees over there, there's more fields, and at least one of the farmers over there is growing daikon radish, which is super cool. And we're actually expecting frosts this week. So apparently daikon radish is a winter cover crop here that is designed to be killed off when the frost comes. And then basically the daikon roots have now buried themselves deep in the soil. So it aerates the soil. The roots then get all mushy with the frost and leave organics in the soil for whatever they're growing there next year. All that being said, this week is week 52. So I don't actually have any plans, but I will tell you that for next year, basically starting week 1, 2026, I have a schedule for every single week of the year. So we'll see if I stick to the schedule. But a lot of that is basically in the beginning, it's all pretty much cleanup. I'm going to have to prune the orchard, clean things up, get things planted. I am going to be starting some seeds in January. But yeah, so I haven't been very good at proactively planning up to now. And I have spent the last couple of weeks really trying to get an actual schedule for 2026. So yeah, my plans for this week are to continue cleaning up, finalize my plans for 2026. Next week, I might tell you about more things that have worked and more things that haven't worked for me this year. But with that, I think I'm about done. So again, I'll turn around and leave you with the sunset. Today is December 28th. It's my dad's birthday. So happy birthday, Dad. I am planning on emailing you, so you'll get that later. But yeah, here's a French sunset. It's super pretty. It's a very clear day. We are expecting down to -3 this week, which for here is cold. I know that's not necessarily cold for everybody, but for us it's cold. And yeah, it's just prepping for the frost, cleaning up stuff, and making sure I'm ready for 2026. So I hope you all had a great holiday, Christmas, whatever you celebrate, and I will see you next year. Bye.